So we've got Craig's Rocket 3 GT. It's got DB killers in the exhaust, so we've done a base run with the DB killers in, then we're going to pull the DB killers out and do another run, see what the difference is, and then we're going to remap it for full power and see how much sugar cane we can get again. So here it goes. Not waiting for any lag to disappear. 75. Okay, so we've done a run with the DB killers in, we've taken the DB killers out, and now we're going to do another run, see what difference they make on this particular exhaust system, and then we'll de-restrict it from there. Okay, so we've done a run 3 with DB killers in, run 5 with the DB killers out, and there's virtually no difference in horsepower. And the reason for this is that the restriction is further back, it's back up in the headers. The headers have got very small outlet, and so they are more of a restriction than the exhaust system and than the silencer system. So there's literally 2 horsepower and 1 foot-pound in it. So now we'll do a bit of reflashing and see what power we can get out of it with full throttle, and then we'll put the DB killers back in, see if it kills it. Okay, so now instead of it only having 60% throttle, we're giving it 100% throttle, and we made quite an aggressive throttle curve. So all we need to do now is reflash it, ECU, reprogram. Continue. Okay. Reprogramming in progress, and you will see it takes quite a while. Thinking about it, 23 minutes, there you go. So we've just got to go and get another cup of coffee and have lunch. So when this is done, we'll see what power we've got, and then we'll put the DB killers in, and if it's not too disruptive to the power, then we'll leave them there. Keep Craig's missus happy. Okay, so we've done the reflash. We now should have 100% throttle on the sport setting and normal road setting. Left the rain setting at 40% throttle just to keep it nice and stable in the tricky conditions, and now we need to see what it makes. that looks a bit different. So let's get rid of that one, move that run. Okay, so changing the throttle angles and see what we've got. We've picked up horsepower all the way through, and we've gone from 142 horsepower and 46 foot-pound of torque to 166 and 149, nearly 150 foot-pound of torque. So 24 horsepower gain, 25 horsepower gain. Very nice too. We just checked the CO, so we'll put the sniffer in the back of the exhaust, make sure she's not running too lean, see if there's any gains to be had there. And then we'll put the DB killers in and see if it makes any difference to power as well. Great. With a bit of tweaking on fuel, we're now running 175 horsepower as opposed to 142 and 155 foot-pound of torque instead of 146. Mixture strength is still a little bit on the rich side. You see down here we're at about 12.5 to 1 air fuel ratio. But the air is forced into this airbox through the two vents either side of the headstock. And that's going to make a little bit of difference. It's going to push a little bit more air through than we're getting on the dyno. So I'm going to leave that as being safe and certainly making a good change in horsepower. So I think that's pretty damn good. Look at that. 33, best part of 33 horsepower gain. Got rid of the speed restriction, so it revs out right to the limiter in 5th gear with full throttle as opposed to the throttle dipping away and causes it to nose over at the top end. Craig ought to see a difference. So I don't think we need to do any more. I think we're there. Oh, we could put the DB killers in and see what it does. Okay, we'll do that. All this mud in the exhaust.
That whole thing was all shiny the same.
You've got to say what kind of a day it is today, Rich. It's absolutely...
what is it, about -3? This is bloody cold. Good for horsepower, not good for well-being.
Yep.
Need a few more dyno runs to warm the dyno room up. I'm only going to put one bolt in because we're not keeping them in. Is that right?
Yeah. Are we happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've run with the DB killers in, full throttle setting, so as we intend to leave it, but with the DB killers in, the difference in horsepower between the two is the blue line is the unrestricted and the red line is with the DB killers in. The biggest difference is here, which is about 5 horsepower. To be honest, for the lack of noise, it's not worth a lot having the DB killers out. So you might as well leave them in, I think, and
keep the missus happy.
Keep the missus happy, eh? So we'll put them in properly. But like I've always said, the restriction's not in the silencer, the restriction is in the headers. The headers are so tiny internally. That's where the restriction is, so it doesn't matter a lot what you do past the headers. it's not going to make a lot of difference in horsepower, and that just proves the point. You might think 5 horsepower is a lot, but it's not huge. Not with a big torquey motor like this pulling 155 foot-pounds of torque. Yeah, that's quite nice, isn't it? And that's correcting down 6.3% today. The actual horsepower on the day is just under 180 horsepower, 179.98 horsepower with no correction. Nice job. So, job well done, I think. 30 horsepower gain at the end of the day. No speed restriction, so full throttle in 5th and 6th. Good luck in these conditions. But it's still got the rain program, so it's still got a nice progressive throttle in the rain program, and that's all you need. Just gotta do my reversing tactics. Anybody think I hadn't done this before?
Too cold for this.
Yeah, too cold for this. Yeah, beautiful paint scheme. Absolutely.